Shut away behind the walls of the nation's many prisons is a lost army, mostly American men and boys who might have made useful citizens. An army which today is crowding our penal institutions to capacity and costs us some $15 billion a year. Who are these lost citizens? How did they get here? Many of them grew up in crowded neighborhoods where there was no space for the right kind of play. As they grew older with no place to go, they just hung around, drifting into trouble. After dark is the most dangerous time for young people. Adventure in the night holds many hazards for children when parents neither know nor care what they do. In some neighborhoods, there are unscrupulous employers who, in violation of the law, permit school-age youngsters to work late at night and in questionable surroundings. But though a child's outside environment is important, his life at home really determines the course he will follow. When he is unhappy with his family, there's apt to be trouble ahead. The child's emotional life is like a placid stream flowing through the open country. As long as the home supplies the child with the emotional background so vital to him, the stream stays deep and flows smoothly. But when these satisfactions are denied him, the emotionally starved child is apt to drift into delinquency, and his life may be wrecked on the rocks of crime. An unhappy boy feels more at ease out on the streets with his pals, his gang. Their comradeship compensates him for the affection he's missed at home. The gang admires a fellow who's a leader, the first one to experiment and try things, even little things. And later, when the gang gets into bigger things, a boy begins to think that nothing equals the excitement that comes from doing something really dangerous. But the end of the story is always the same. Society can confine its young delinquents, but confining them is no real cure. In the community itself lies the power to control juvenile delinquency. Goods are the starting point. The churches provide sound religious training. At school, children learn to live together. A sympathetic policeman can help keep active youngsters on the right track. And in every town and city, public-minded clubs and agencies can do their bit. But despite the good these institutions are already doing, the specter of delinquency can still be found in almost every community. Uncoordinated attacks by the good influences made separately can have only a limited effect upon this vicious force. Only when all community agencies work together, forgetting their differences, can there be much hope that delinquency will be done away with. First of many steps in a community program is for its leaders to meet and plan their campaign. Representative of the specialists whom civic leaders can ask to advise them is Emmett R. Gon, chairman of the New York State Youth Commission. In the planning, all groups should participate. Not only adults, but the young themselves should have a say.
When the people of a community undertake a long-range program to prevent delinquency, they will be most successful if they base their program on certain principles that we like to call the Children's Bill of Rights. There is first the home.
Nothing else in a child's life can take the place of a congenial home. Rich or poor, all children deserve the right to the love of understanding parents. where children are surrounded by affection, where they enjoy themselves and are given their share of responsibility, there is seldom need for harmful emotional outlets outside. The right to share religious with his family should be guaranteed to everyone. For in the church, children find out there's a difference between right and wrong. The parks and open areas should be made into places where youngsters under competent leadership can find excitement and adventure and work off their abundant energy. In the planning, vacant lots close to home can often be turned into playgrounds. The teenagers may need a social club where under supervision they can plan out fun of their own making. And always in every community, a wise and kindly police force is a good influence. But inevitably an important factor in every community youth program is the school, which reaches more youngsters for more hours per week than any other social agency. Children in a well-run school develop healthy interests with others, discover the sense of achievement they need, and loyalties that make them want to build up society rather than tear it down. But however well the school is run, there will always be some maladjusted youngsters who develop feelings of inferiority and resentment. Often when basic subjects such as reading and arithmetic are hard for them, but easy for the others. For these, the capable teacher is always on the alert. About such children who may become delinquent, the teacher consults with the school guidance specialist. Help for the problem child is based on a complete study of his case. One important question is what his classmates think of him. Sometimes a simple questionnaire based on psychological principles is used to find the answer. One of several techniques for measuring behavior patterns, the Guess Who game, draws from the youngsters a forthright appraisal of their classmates. It is obvious what Dickie thinks about Carl. His statement, plus the attitudes of the other children, indicates that Carl's bullying, a sign of conflict, is isolating him from the others, turning him into a potentially serious problem. One phase of the whole picture. Other tests also reveal maladjustment, deviations from other pupils in age, intelligence, and school ability. The bad boy's discipline, one of many steps in the remedial process, becomes a problem of youth itself.
Carl, you've broken the first window that's been broken in our school in 2 years.
So what?
What do you think we ought to do about it?
A physical checkup is essential in any long-term treatment. The visits of the teacher and of social workers to the home are important. Almost tensions, they have failed to understand the problems of their child. The turning point may come after months, as the child's mind is slowly directed toward constructive interests. For thus he is enabled to gratify the need for attention which made him antisocial, and to earn the group acceptance he has so long needed. So, because he was caught in time, the problem child who was once headed for delinquency has every chance for a happy future. No child is born a delinquent. No child needs to become one. If your community will join together in a strong determination to protect his rights, then and only then can your community solve its problem of children in trouble.